What's going on, everyone? You're welcome once again to David Data Channel. If this is your first time here, thanks so much for stopping by. And if you're a returning viewer, I'm so excited to have you here. Please don't forget to hit the like button and the subscribe button and also the notification bell so you can be notified once a new video drops in. Alright, so on today's video, we're going to be talking about logical data modeling from a database context. In our previous video, we talked about what a data model is and then what a conceptual data model is also. If you haven't watched those videos, you can check that in the link above and link in the description below as well. Alright, so let's jump over in today's business. So what's a logical data model? A logical data model or logical data modeling is a more detailed representation of your data, entities, attributes, and relationships. Compared to the conceptual, which is really just high level, you want to understand the entities, what the attributes are. You're not going too much into details and the relationship from a entity perspective. But from logical standpoint, you really want to go into a little bit more detail of understanding relationships on a column level, like which columns would be showing up in other columns in your other tables, right? You want to understand how these things flows. You want to understand each of the attributes that will be necessary in each of the entities, right? So it's really much more detailed. So if you look at our fictitious e-commerce business, we said that the entities are the customer, the product, the orders, payments, and reviews, and then the attributes would be each of the columns for the customers. But now for this logical data model, we're going to make it more detailed. We're going to specify the IDs and each of the columns that will be required in each of those entities, right? And then in terms of relationships, you can say a customer placed an order, another could have several kind of products in it, a customer makes a payment for an order, and the review is made for a product. Yeah, so for a logical data model is not so much different from the conceptual, only that your conceptual was just high level, just thought about the entities, but now you're going to break it more further down into details for each of the attributes and also the relationships as how they connect on the column level. So right now we're going to jump into our screen and I'm just going to show you some just a brief overview of what this looks like using an Excel. Alright, so if you look at the screen right now, we can see our entities and also the attributes of our fictitious e-commerce business. And then compared to our conceptual data model, we are now more detailed about the entities or the attributes of these entities and their relationships as well. So for example, if you look at the customer table, we can see we have customer ID, first name, last name, email address, phone number, shipping address, and billing address. And we can see the product ID for the products table, product name, product description, product price, image and category. For the orders table, you can see the order ID, customer ID, orders date, order status, and order total. And from the ID columns, which will serve as a primary or foreign keys, as we'll talk about that more in the physical model, this will give us an idea of the relationships. So for example, we see the customer ID of the customer tables also exists as a foreign key in the order tables, which tells us that a customer can have orders, right? And the customer can have many orders, which is like a one-to-many relationship. We see a product ID from the product table exists as a foreign key in the other items table, right? Which tells us that a product can exist in the other items table, which is like a cart sort of thing. So many products can exist in here, that kind of a thing. We also see the order ID exists here as well. So there's a relationship between the order tables, the orders someone make, the orders that was made by a customer. So a customer makes an order, and then the order that was made by that customer exists in the other items table. And when this order is made, payment is made for this order, right? And then it gets a payment ID. And after this payment has been made for this order, there is a review that can be made for the product of the order. And this review can come from the customer ID. So we can see on a multi-level the relationships between these entities based on their attributes. This is really what goes on for the logical data model. You become a little bit more detailed. You begin to put the database technology into consideration so you can understand in details all the entities, all the attributes for each of the entities and the relationship amongst them on a column level. Alright everyone, so there you have it. This is really what a logical data model is and how to create one. You understand that when you're trying to design a database or a data model for your system or your application, you first start from a conceptual level and then to a logical level before moving to creating your physical data model, which is what we all mostly interact with in our databases. On our next video, we'll be talking about physical data models, and I hope you got a thing or two out of this. Please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe button. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.